Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Viswaifu in the Off My Chest subreddit. The post is titled, "My GF shares too much stories about her wild past. I can't deal with it anymore. So I've met this amazing girl on a dating app which I don't normally use. After talking for 2 months and then dating for 2 months, we became official last week, and it felt good to have my first girlfriend. I felt so happy when I left her that day. I've never been with a girl before her. She has had 12 partners. She was really sweet to me for my first time. She guided me. Now we've been together for 2 months and the relationship sometimes feels really good, but sometimes really bad to me. Our communication is pretty good, but she keeps sharing everything she's ever done. All the boyfriends she had, most of the guys she dated, and that she kissed a lot of girls and guys. She had a rough home situation growing up. I appreciate the honesty, but I can't handle it. My mind is too full right now with stuff from her exes, stories, and information. I keep seeing her with other men. I asked her if she could tone it down a bit when talking about her exes and such, but most of the stories she tells include one of them. I keep hearing all these names. It makes me so jealous. I absolutely hate being jealous. After she said she would try to tone it down, today she started again. Today I got home and I don't know what to do anymore. It seems like every week there's something new she needs to share about her past. My head is completely full and I feel like I can't go on right now. Am I overreacting? I've dated girls before, but none have been so open about their pasts. I appreciate her for being honest, but I feel like she's oversharing a lot. Like, I know it's the past and she can't change it. Why am I so bothered by it? I also don't want to make her feel like she can't share anything with me, but sometimes it's just a bit too much. I'm afraid of losing her if I keep saying that I have some problems with her past. She's like the complete opposite of me, which is not a bad thing, but I always imagine myself with someone calmer. Will these feelings of jealousy and her talking about her exes ever come to an end? Has anyone ever been in a similar situation before? I've just gotten out of therapy to deal with negative thoughts. I can't really enjoy our time together lately because of this, and I think she's starting to notice. Can someone please give me advice? I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know if I should post this here. I'm just looking for some advice in this situation." User Angry Orchid Mother said, "Everyone is going to have a past. The older you get, the longer someone else's story is going to be. All of the stories she is telling are a part of her life that she is trying to share with you. Telling her you don't want to hear parts of her life because of your own insecurities tells her she is too damaged for you. If she's constantly talking about the sex she had with those guys, that's one thing. But if it's like, oh yeah, I know that restaurant, I used to frequent it with Tony, then you need to relax, hun. She is with you now. She chose you. If someone having a past is a deal breaker, you're going to find yourself alone quite a bit. Work on figuring out why you have a hard time with it. Maybe you're worried she'll think you're boring. Maybe you're worried the sex won't be comparable to the experienced people she's been with. Whatever it is, it's on you to fix it. She shouldn't have to hide her life from her partner because it makes them uncomfortable." User Seba SS said, "I think you are right to be bothered by this. Most women know very well to keep some things away from men. Is there a chance that she is subconsciously jeopardizing the relationship with you? Maybe she is so insecure that she prefers to sabotage the relationship she wants because at least then she is in control." Update. My girlfriend means the world to me. I can't get over how beautiful I find her, how she makes me smile when I'm sad, and how caring she is toward me. But lately, my relationship jealousy is playing up again, and now it's worse than ever before. I was a virgin before I met her. She had been with 14 other guys. In the beginning, I didn't even know I was suffering from this. I just laughed it off. She was never really treated right by a lot of guys, so I wanted to make a difference. She said she had never felt something like this for anyone before. She even said I was the best in bed because she felt loved and cared about, which is wonderful in my opinion. Being the best she ever had gave me such a confidence boost. She told me early on in the dating process that she had a one-night stand on vacation in a restaurant kitchen with some chef who was always nice to her. I didn't care about it at that time, but now it's eating at me for over 5 days. I don't know how to get rid of the images of them in my head. I imagine all the things they would do there. They fell asleep together in the restaurant. It seems so romantic. I want to ask my girlfriend about it, but I don't want to bother her again. She also suffers a lot from my jealousy. It seems like every other week there is a new problem in which I need confirmation, and I'm done. If it's not one of her exes, it's a one-night stand, and I'm stuck in a loop, playing that frustrating movie in my head. I'm crying while writing this. Sometimes it feels like I can't go on. It hurts me to see her with someone else. The more I love her, the more difficult I find it to let go of some of these stories. Can anyone give me kind words or any advice at all? I hate this suffering so much. Update 2. My girlfriend dated a black guy before me. They had 2 dates, and on the second date, he kind of forced her to sleep with him. She was hurt by it and doesn't like to talk about it, but I have so many questions. I saw his Instagram and he is a good-looking guy, but the way he forced her is wrong in my opinion, yet my girlfriend keeps defending him. He was breathing heavily in her neck while they lay in bed. Eventually, my girlfriend felt like she needed to sleep with him. When I asked her, "Didn't he notice you weren't into it?" she simply said no. It wasn't his fault because I didn't say no. I didn't show him I didn't want it. It felt that way afterward. This is where I lost it. She said it was not a good experience. She froze, but she also says now that she didn't show him she didn't want him. How can that be possible? My mind went blank and I assumed she was moaning and showing him a good time, while she already said to me that she froze and he did his thing. My jealousy got the best of me and I asked her, "So you moaned and stuff and showed him you were having a good time?" This made her angry. She said she also didn't show him she was having a good time, but also not a bad time. I'm angry at this guy and she keeps defending him like he didn't do anything wrong. She had flashbacks of him a while ago. She called me crying, so I don't know why she defends him. She said this whole thing is done for her. She is on good terms with herself now, so I don't want to bring it up again. I also don't know why I feel inferior. I've looked up to black artists my entire life, maybe because of that. I know I'm not a racist by any means, so I don't know why I can't let it go. He hurt my girl, and that hurts me. Do you guys have any advice on this matter? She is angry now and says she doesn't want to talk about it, and I should, of course, respect her boundaries. Edit. Okay, she just asked me why I would want to know if I faked moaned with him, so my mind automatically assumes she faked moaned with him. Maybe that's also not true, but that could give him the wrong idea. I'm so lost and stuck in my head at the moment. Could anyone give me any words? Update 3. So my girlfriend of 1 year demanded that I never look at any other woman's behind because it's only for lust. If I need that, I can look for another girlfriend who thinks that's okay. She wants to break up with me because of this, and I don't want to let her go over something so stupid. I am seriously looking for a way to address this, but staring at the ground or only at guys is not really a solution. I told her I love you and it's not even comparable how often I look at girls and how I look at you, but she doesn't care and wants me to stop. We also both don't watch porn, which we discussed earlier, and that's fine. I've watched 2 or 3 videos on TikTok with some girls dancing. She also says if I do that one more time, she's gone as well. She says she watches other people too, but never looks at someone's behind or any other body part. I have no clue what I can do. I told her I don't want to be obsessively looking at other women, and I am not, but she doesn't want me to ever look at someone's behind or anything like that. She says it's not loyal toward her. Have any other couples had issues like this? How did you work it out? Any advice regarding this? User Paradise Lost said, by banning a natural human impulse, she'll only make you want it more and probably end up cheating, which is far worse than simply admiring someone's body. I'm not saying you're that kind of person, but by pushing you too far one way, it's not unlikely you'll rebound to the opposite extreme. She really needs to work on her self-esteem and trust issues, and I think she needs to do that alone before she enters into a relationship again. As for you, it's up to you, but I wouldn't want to feel guilty for admiring someone attractive when I know I love my boyfriend and have no interest in being with anyone else but him. User Charming Ad said, there's a difference between looking at someone's behind and simply looking at them. Yes, you should be able to control your eyes from going straight to someone's behind, but her demanding that you look at no woman ever, not even basic eye contact to order food, discuss work with coworkers, or chat with a female family member, that's insane. I'm bisexual, so she would demand that I look at no one ever. That's ridiculous and beyond controlling. This next post was made in the same subreddit by a user named Adventurous Advance. The post is titled, "Tomorrow they're going to remove my jaw. I've had a lump in my throat since April. I am nauseous nearly every day. My body is shrinking despite being active in the gym. I was getting sick and easily injured often, and I generally felt unwell all around my neck and head. I finally went to the doctor because one day I woke up and my feet and ankles were swollen like balloons overnight, and I couldn't walk on them. I went to the doctor and got blood tests done. Well, good news, the doctor determined it wasn't cancer. After more blood tests, the doctor determined it wasn't an immune disease. It turns out I am just stressed out. My blood pressure is about 170 and my average heart rate is in the 80s. My cortisol levels are similar to those of an elderly man with heart disease, and my white blood cell count is that of someone with a serious infection. I don't do drugs and I don't drink heavily. I am young and healthy in terms of weight and diet, I guess. I'm just stressed out. It's crazy. I thought I was dying and I was kind of okay about it. I didn't mind, so I guess I'm staying. A few months later, OP gave us an update. I've been a pack-a-day smoker for over 10 years. I'm 29. A few months ago, I started noticing general discomfort around my lower jaw and then a bump where my throat meets my jaw. It turns out it's a tumor caused by my smoking. It's growing and the whole right side of my jaw is swollen. Tomorrow I'm having surgery to remove the tumor, but it has grown so much that they're going to take off the right side of my jaw and part of my throat. I'll be left with a deformed absence of flesh and bone on the right side of my face and a hole in my throat. I'll speak through a machine. I'll be deformed and mutilated. I have a 4-year-old son, the only joy in my life. And tomorrow I'm going to look like a monster to him. Tomorrow I'm going to ruin my life. I'd rather be dead. I'd rather let the tumor grow and suffocate me. The thought of seeing my son's horrified face when he sees me after they're done fills me with dread that I cannot describe. He calls me his best friend. He tells me he loves me when I put him to sleep. And I'm going to betray his love and turn into a monster when they remove 40% of my mouth. If you smoke or vape, I beg you to stop. Listen to the guy who is about to have his heart ripped out. Just stop. Oh God, I'm about to lose my boy. Just stop smoking. Update. I don't know what to say to you all. I thought a few people would see this. I just wanted one or two to see this as a warning. I didn't expect so much kindness, support, and love. I cried when I saw all of you being so kind to me. Your kindness toward me, the guy who destroyed his face, means everything. I love every one of you. Thank you so much. I have seen my boy, my big guy, my brave little dude. This was our interaction. Uh-oh, Daddy has a big ouchie. Daddy, look at my Spider-Man shoes. They make lights. He then stomped his feet to make his shoes light up. They are, in fact, quite cool. He is being so strong and patient with me. He asks me why I don't talk, but his mom is helping him through it. She has been a blessing. He hugged me and asked me to make bubbles with him before he left today. He told me he loved me without me saying it first. I can tell I am scaring him a little bit. His eyes tell me that, as does his body language. But I think it'll be okay. After reading all of your messages, your experiences, your wisdom, and your love, I think it'll all be okay eventually. He loves me, and I love him more than anything else there is to love. We will find a way. I wanted to make this short, but failed at that. I love you all. I am seeking reconstruction for my face and throat. It'll be a long and difficult process, but it will happen, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my son feel safe and comfortable. I owe it to him. I owe everything to him. To all of you who smoke. About 6 or 7 months ago, I first went to the doctor to see if I had smoking-induced cancer. I didn't ask enough questions and didn't push hard enough. He did blood work for autoimmune disease instead and gave me a 10-second physical examination. He told me I was stressed and maybe had a throat infection due to excessive stress and smoking. I trusted him and changed nothing about myself. He was wrong. You are wrong if you continue smoking, thinking that nothing will happen to you. Smokers, part of my jaw is gone, part of my throat is gone, my life is irreparably changed. My relationship with those I love is forever changed, and it is all my fault. I will die with this mistake on my soul. You don't have to be like me. Stop smoking. User Hairy Hooded Clam said, as someone whose parents are deceased, I'd rather have them imperfect than dead. To this user, Ford said, one guy said it could have been worse at my dad's funeral, considering my dad went suddenly one morning without any warning. I have to assume he saw a slow downward spiral with his own father, and I know it would have been so painful to see my own dad suffer like that. However, it wasn't the comforting thing he thought it was. User Dova Guard said, I can't imagine what you're going through right now, and that sounds incredibly tough, but you'll still be his dad. That isn't going to change. Part of you, how you look, might change, but he'll still know it's you. It won't affect how you treat him, and he'll love you just the same as he does now. There might be a period of time where he adjusts, but in time, he'll see the new you as the same old you he's always known his entire life. I'm not going to pretend it won't be tough, but your son isn't going to see a monster, he's just going to see you. It's especially hard now, but years down the line, he'll be infinitely happier to have you as you are than he would be if he lost you to this cancer. You can do this. User Bookkeeper Brilliant said, the first time my mom got a haircut, I pulled a jacket over my head and cried and cried. Another time, my mom had septum surgery and had to wear these cups on her face that would fill with blood. It really freaked me out. Neither of these experiences made me love my mom any less. Kids get freaked out about normal things. Kids get freaked out about freaky things. But kids bounce back. Kids adapt. Kids acclimate to the new normal much faster and easier than adults do. Your son will be scared when he first sees you. He will cry. He will not want to look at you at first. This is both normal and unavoidable. What you can and should do is prepare him. Tell him what's going to happen. Tell him that it will be normal to feel scared or sick. Make sure he won't feel guilty when those feelings come up. And most importantly, make sure he always knows it's not how we look. It's what's on the inside that's most important. Whatever you look like on the outside, on the inside is a loving father who would do anything for his son, and that is someone worthy of love. This final post was made in the Surviving Infidelity subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "My GF led me to believe I got her pregnant, but I found out it wasn't mine after the birth." I've been on Reddit for a while and began lurking in this subreddit when I first suspected my girlfriend was cheating. I had hoped I wouldn't be here posting, but here we are. I have been with my girlfriend for just about 2 years. The relationship was good, and then she told me she was pregnant. For the most part, I'm careful, and she said she was on birth control. I was skeptical but went to an appointment. I figured it was just one of those things. I always wanted a family, so even though this was not how I wanted to begin, I was overjoyed. We're past the first trimester, and I had her move in at her insistence. We're planning what we will do work-wise and how to set up the baby's room. She is pretty insistent that she will go back to work but still be able to stay home. She swears she can make it work. I go to every appointment with her. Things are still good. We're in the 3rd trimester and I make my schedule work to still go to every appointment. Up until this point, I had been at each appointment in its entirety. At one appointment, she asked me to wait so she could talk to the doctor first. I'm super concerned that something is wrong with the baby and that she didn't want me to hear it. I go in and the checkup is done. Everything looks good. My girlfriend brushes off my concern over why I couldn't be there for all of it. We're about a month and a half from the due date, and I notice her being kind of secretive with phone calls and texts. She tells me it's work-related and confidential, etc. My antenna is now up, so I try to get a look at her phone. She's got Snapchat and Kik. I find it strange, but don't confront her. The baby is born, and I'm overwhelmed with emotion. The child is perfect and things went fine. Then comes the part where they want me to go on the birth certificate. My girlfriend becomes really insistent about it. She's constantly asking me to do it and seems way more anxious than I've ever seen her. Here's the red flag I didn't miss. I don't do it. We have an argument, but she stops pushing. I think it's because she knows how suspicious it looks already. We're home and she has to tend to the baby after it wakes up. I noticed she set her phone down to go to the baby. I couldn't help myself and looked. It was still unlocked. I start looking for texts or calls. Then I find a whole conversation on Kik with a guy, updates about her appointments and pictures of her and the baby. Then I see it. The place where she says she thinks it's his child. I confront her and she apologizes. She admits the baby could be mine or someone else's, but she thinks it's mine. I demand a paternity test and leave. It's been about a week since the confrontation. The results came in yesterday. The baby isn't mine. She's gone to live with her mother. Here's the best part. It took me a lot of digging since all I had were usernames that she used to talk to him. The father is her boss, the boss with a wife and 4 kids in middle and high school. I found the wife on Facebook and sent her everything I had, including texts from my girlfriend saying it's his. I'm heartbroken in so many ways. I'm lucky in a lot of respects here, but I'm so hurt. This has completely changed my whole outlook on life. I'm bitter, angry, and untrusting. I have no idea how to recover from this. User Veritas Ditum said, "You dumped her and exposed her affair and child to the other person's wife. Good job. Now take your time to grieve your loss, look after yourself, and realize that you were fooled by who she pretended to be and that none of this is your fault. Then take a moment to think about how lucky you are to have dodged this bullet. It doesn't feel like it, but you were incredibly fortunate. It could have gone down much worse and cost you years of your life and a child you have already raised. User Distracted 523 said, "Dude, this might sound really crazy, but I am so happy for you. I am so glad this happened now, and you get to leave and have a chance of finding someone truly good to start a family with. You will experience the joy of having your first child in a true, healthy, and loving relationship. And the child born into that situation will have a good life. You win. God has opened the door for something better for you. I want to triple high-five you for telling the wife of the other person involved. This is going to hurt her, but it will also set her free from this dangerous man she is married to. There is no doubt this is not his first affair. He is putting her life at risk of getting sexually transmitted diseases that could kill her. It may be hard to see it all and understand now, but imagine how this could have been 5 years from now, with a second child that actually is yours, and now you would be strapped to her for life. This moment is a victory." Update. I've still not spoken to her. I can't bring myself to. I'm conflicted because I still bonded with that baby, yet I am not the father. That is painful. She still tries to contact me. I don't know if it's love, but I won't talk to her. Now, about the guy who is the father, I told his wife. She didn't respond immediately. I found out through my ex that he lost his job. There's some justice in the world. He won't have anything to do with my ex. He blames her for the mess he's currently in. His wife contacted me over a week later. She apologized for what I went through. She was still in shock, I guess. She kicked him out. I have no idea where he went. Their kids know. Everyone knows. My ex still works there, but is in the process of finding a new job since literally everyone knows what happened now. I'm still in shock and still heartbroken. This holiday will be tough and sad for me. I know there's hope. I know it will get better. This shook me to my core, and I don't know how long it will take. I'm ready to swear off any relationship ever again. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.